thanks for that. We're here at Leicester Speedway, and joining me is Max Fricke. Max, we've just come out and had a look at the starts here. Quickly, we were just saying they're looking pretty good tonight. Plenty of moisture.
Yeah, at the moment it looks good. Sorry, I thought you were holding the mic. Yeah, at the moment it looks good. There's plenty of water's gone down, and it's still early on, so hopefully a little bit of that dries up come first heat. But overall, it looks nice and consistent. We've got a little bit of cloud cover, so it shouldn't dry up too much, and yeah, looking good for a night's racing. I
came here early in the year, and there was one thing that really stood out. There was like the inside gate worked a lot, and it worked. It was quite, how should I say, there wasn't too many people missing it off the inside and start. Yeah. Looking across here, it probably looks a little bit more even, but gate 1 still looks like very grippy compared to the rest. Do you think it's the way they rip it? And
potentially, but then also the fall of the track. I think like any moisture kind of runs down to the inside there, and then just having that advantage of being on the inside of the track coming into the first corner, I think gives you good track position beginning the race. So it's always hard to come from the outside when you've got that little bit further run into the corner, and it does slicken off as the meeting goes on over gates 3 and 4, because that's where we're riding all the time.
But the other thing I picked up on was that last year guys were letting it run a lot more and running up high off the banking. Seems guys are now, like yourself and Dougie, are coming down off the banking early. Like you're getting your wheels in line earlier instead of letting it run up the top. I know they've fixed the banking, but it seems like you can turn it back earlier now.
A little bit. It's hard to say exactly because I feel like we haven't done too many home matches just yet. But it has changed slightly, and I feel like we're still in the process of working it out exactly where we can turn back and how far we can push it in that first, well, basically in both corners, but especially turns 1 and 2. Yeah. But overall,
do you feel like you can enter a bit deeper as well?
Yes.
That was the big thing. Yeah.
Yes and no. It feels wider coming into the corner. Yep. But then sometimes I feel like you can go too far because you do feel like you can go wider. It's easy to go too far as well.
And the corners come back on you quick, don't they? You get it in, you come in with so much speed here, you do have to turn it hard and almost turn it on a dime.
Yeah, it is.
And that's what I mean by before, you could let it run, but I think with that banking being a little bit more user-friendly, you can then turn that back.
Yeah.
But I know like it was the Ipswich meeting I think I came to. You guys obviously didn't get the win that night, but I think your side, well, obviously, as is, like you said, you haven't done enough laps around here this year to dial in the new banking. But I think you've got a side, guys from Wolves who can use that, who can turn the bike back and get straight lines off the corners.
Exactly, especially the guys from Wolves. They're so good at turning it whenever they need to and being able to put the bike where they need to on the track. And especially, it is a little bit bigger than the likes of Wolves, but, in proportion, there's really long straights here, and you do have to turn.
It's that technique when you get in and stand the bike upright, stand hard on your right foot.
Exactly. And it's, overall for those guys, I think it's a great track, and they ride it really well. So we are working it out with some of the new cambers, because it changes that muscle memory that we had from the years before. Sometimes it doesn't exactly work.
And it's not as wavy, and it's not as wavy coming into the corners as probably what it has been previously as well.
Exactly. They've done a really good job. It looks really nice, and it looks great today as well. So hopefully should produce some really nice racing today.
A little bit of talk about maybe a little bit of corridor, bit of Carlson corridor maybe.
Mate, it has been working a little bit the first few meetings, more than I thought it would, which again, that kind of knowledge from previous years where it didn't really work, maybe caught us out a bit at the start of the season, but at the moment it has been working quite well. But again, it looks a little bit different tonight, so we'll have to wait and see after a couple of heats what's working.
No worries. Well, thanks for that, Max. Thanks for coming for a walk, and it's back to the guys in the studio.